Historic Corydon, Indiana. Founded in 1808, Corydon is filled with a rich history of Indiana's past and is currently a well-recognized tourist attraction to this day. During the War of 1812, and in fear of Vincennes being overtaken, Indiana's capital moved to Corydon, which it remained as Indiana's state capital until January of 1825, where it moved to now capital Indianapolis. Corydon is also the only place in the state of Indiana where a Civil War battle took place, and the Union troops were defeated and the entire town of Corydon was overtaken by the Confederate States. And here's the site of Indiana's first state office building. Here sits Indiana's first official state capitol building. It is constructed out of limestone from a nearby quarry, and it was completed in 1816. In 1816, Indiana's first legislative meeting was held in this building, and this room served as a meeting place for the House of Representatives. Here on the top floor, it housed Indiana's first Supreme Court and Senate chamber. Located behind me was the governor's headquarters. Built in 1817 by Davis Floyd, this building housed Governor William Hendricks from 1822 to 1825. In 1841, Judge William A. Porter purchased this house for his family, and then in 1849 became Speaker of the House. This building has housed several families since being built in 1817, but is now part of the Corydon Capitol Historic Site. So, with all the rich history of Corydon, Indiana, is there more going on here than meets the eye? You be the judge. Listen to these first-hand accounts of unexplained activity as told by Corydon Historic Program Developer Laura Von Fossen. Okay, Laura, has there been anything happen in this part of the building?
Yes, we have a story about this stove. When we used to take tours up here, there was a portrait of Mr. Porter's wife hanging above the stove. And one of our tour guides used to joke and say, oh, doesn't she look horrible, and her hair is awful. And every time she came up for a tour, this door right here would be open. And she would get so mad because she would come in and bang her leg on it and it would hurt. So she'd go back to the other tour guides and say, okay, who left the door open? And no one ever owned up to it. So finally one day, one of our tour guides said, maybe it's Mrs. or Mr. Porter not appreciating that you're making fun of her portrait that used to hang up here. So this tour guide came in here one day by herself and apologized, said, I'm very sorry for making fun of you, I won't do it again, and that door never opened again.
No, that's very interesting. That's a cool story.
And you can see that it's a really heavy door, and it won't stay open, it falls closed by itself.
Yeah.
So there was something making it stay that way.
Okay, Laura, how about here?
Well, we've had a sighting of a lady in red right here on the landing. We had a young girl who was trying to come into the front door with her mom, but she refused to enter the building because she kept telling her mother that there was a scary lady in red standing right here at the top of the stairs. This lady in red has also been spotted in a bedroom up here. She appeared to a group of Boy Scouts who were on a tour, and they got separated from the group, and they were so scared that they were later found cowering in a corner, saying that they had seen a lady in red.
Wow, that's really interesting. Okay, Laura, how about this area of the house?
Well, a couple of years ago, we had a new tour guide giving one of her first tours in this room. And she turned and looked through into the kitchen here, and she noticed that there was a tall gentleman standing in there, and she thought he'd gotten separated from her tour group. So she asked her tour to stay here, and she went in through the kitchen, and she started talking to him, and he made promises that he wasn't going to let anyone play tricks on her or anything like that since she was a new tour guide. And she said, okay, well, we're going to continue with the tour, so please follow me. They went on with the rest of the tour, and only later she noticed that when they got out of the house, he was not with the tour. She came back through the house, couldn't find him, and then of course later realized that he was dressed in period garb.
Wow, now that's really interesting. So that's going to be really neat if somebody comes here to investigate and they see this gentleman.
Yes, we've had a couple of occurrences of full body apparitions here, so that's quite unusual.
All right, well, thanks a lot. On October 20th, IPI will open the group up to 10 special guest investigators as we investigate 3 of Indiana's most historic sites, and you can find out for yourself what that past holds.